Let me know if this sounds familiar. You went out and bought something nice and shiny, something you need to peel a transparent sticker off of, something you've been really wanting for a long time, something you checked every day if it had been delivered. And then you got it, and it was perfect. It filled that hole in your heart to the fullest. Then a few days later, you want something else, and the cycle is leading you to go broke. What's going on, guys? I think this is something everyone can relate to. Like back when I was in high school and college, the part-time jobs I had, the salaries went up from 11 to 12 to 15 to 18 to 27. And despite not having to pay for rent or food or anything, I could never save any substantial amount of money. It seemed like at the end of the month, I was always no richer than I was at the beginning. I'm sure we all know you should budget your money and you spend it wisely and just not be an idiot. But it wasn't like I was leasing Teslas or buying mansions. It was just always some invisible force just sucking money out of my bank account. As I got older, I realized if I wanted to retire comfortably and go on nice vacations to see the world and not have to stress about money, something had to change. So I want to share with you guys a few concepts I learned that help me better understand happiness, human nature, and money. The first concept you should understand is your happiness will always return to its baseline point. Regardless of how much money you make or lose over a period of time, your happiness will always return to where it's normally at. This term is officially known as Hedonic Adaptation, the overstated tendency of humans to quickly return to a real stable level of happiness, despite major positive or negative events or life changes. And this concept is critical for understanding lifestyle inflation, which when people start making more money, they immediately start spending more money. For example, if someone gets a $5,000 raise, they'll think to themselves, awesome, I can now finally upgrade my car and buy those new shoes. But also, since I have some money left over, let me also buy this new blender, a new smoothie machine, a new office chair, also this cool rug, etc., until they're no richer than where they were before the raise. And really just regardless of how much money you make, it could be billions on billions of dollars, there will always be stuff to spend that money on. Your happiness will always return back to that baseline point. I know this is hard to wrap your head around because you've always been kind of told by society and marketing that having more stuff will make us happier. But a study was done on 22 multi-million-dollar lottery winners, which showed that after a few months of winning their lottery, their happiness increased no more than a control group. In fact, more studies went on to show that almost all emotions, anger, sorrow, joy, don't increase or decrease past a certain point with the accumulation of wealth or status. But going back to lifestyle inflation, part of the problem is that we feel the need to show people that we are now richer. And this term is officially known as conspicuous consumption, which is defined as an expenditure on or consumption of luxuries on a lavish scale in an attempt to enhance one's prestige. You know, we see that rich people have nice things. So we think to ourselves, hey, I'm a little bit richer, I need to have nice things. So we go out and buy nice things. But that fails to account for the fact that rich people have nice things and they're still rich. If we go out and buy nice things, then we're no longer rich because we spent our money on those nice things. And unfortunately, social media just exemplifies this problem more with people having the ability to now more openly boast the things that they have. But now on the flip side of this problem, self-control is just very difficult and thought intensive. You know, we might see an ad for an awesome sweater and think to ourselves, I'm gonna have the self-control not to buy this. But over the next few days and over the next few weeks possibly, we're thinking in our head, oh my God, my life would be so much better if I had this sweater, I'd be so much happier and it looks so awesome on me. And pushing those thoughts out of your head take like mind power, and your brain could be doing more productive things. So I found there's a three-pronged approach to best tackle this problem. And the first side of it is to be aware of that hedonic adaptation. Know that if you buy this item, it will not make you happier in the long term. So ask yourself, is it really worth it? Now, secondly, you need to learn to avoid putting yourself in situations where you're tempted to spend a lot of money. You know, back when I was in college, it was easy to be a minimalist because I didn't have any money to spend on anything. Once I started getting part-time jobs and having extra income coming in, then it became a lot more tempting to spend money because I knew I was able to buy those things. So unsubscribe from all those unboxing and tech review channels, stop going to the bar and club every weekend, start cooking from home instead of eating out. And this is very difficult to do, but you do not want to be 50 years old, having worked for the past 30 years, and look back knowing that you have nothing to show for it in the bank. And unfortunately, it is very difficult to uproot your entire lifestyle if you tend to be a big, heavy spender, regardless of how much money you make. So I found the best way to go about this is just by doing baby steps. Find these small areas where you know you can save money. For example, if you know that you get a water bottle at the gas station every time you go out and fill up your tank on Friday, buy a pack of water at Costco or something and remember to bring it with you in the car. Things like that, guys. Find stuff where you know you can save a little bit of money and just build and build and build from there. And lastly, you want to set some percentage of all additional income you get moving forward as invisible. So if you're a new grad making $40,000 a year out of college, Every job, every raise, every bonus, anything of that nature that you get where you have additional income coming in, say that 50% of it goes straight into your savings and investments. The other 50% is up to you to spend on whatever you want. I found the best way to do this is to set an automatic transfer payments between either two accounts in the same bank or two different banks. That way, if you get paid every 2 weeks, set it up so every 2 weeks, that other bank or the other account will pull X amount of money from your current account. I see this as a complete win-win because A, you're getting more money, and B, you're saving more money. Now, the money that you're keeping to spend, you should ideally try to save as much of it as possible, but there are things that are just worth spending money on. If you need to upgrade your computer or you need to get a better apartment because the one you currently have is in an unsafe neighborhood, or et cetera, et cetera. All I'm trying to say is don't make it a habit to spend money just because you have that money available to you. Now, as for the income you are currently bringing in on a regular basis, you need to be aiming to save at least 10% of that. 10% is not that crazy. People find out all the time that they're not gonna be getting enough shifts next month or X or Y. And if they switch their bi-weekly salary from $2,000 to $1,800, they'll find a way to make it work. You can cut down on avocado toast, on coffee, on little luxuries and cut corners here and there. And it tends to be fairly easy for people to cut at least 10% of their income out. So get in the habit of treating your income as a 90% thing. Because if you're not saving at least 10% of your income, your net worth is not gonna grow over time. And that will come crashing down on you when you get older. As I mentioned before, the best way to do this is set up those auto payments when weekly or whenever you get paid, money's being switched from that one account to another one. One thing I've found to make saving money more enjoyable is to track it. As humans, I feel like we love to see things grow and build over time. In movies, we love seeing the underdog, no-name main character work his way up event after event till he's fighting the boss and he's come so far from his humble beginnings and all that stuff. And we should treat our finances the same way. So at the end of every month, I add up all of my cash, money in my checkings and savings accounts, and all of my investments, and just put that number in an Excel spreadsheet and see how far the chart's gone up. And this is just so enjoyable knowing that every month I'm just a little bit richer than where I was the month before. And looking a year back, I've made a substantial amount of money. And 3 years back, I've made a ton of money I didn't even think was possible, or I've saved a ton of money I didn't even think was possible. Believe me, guys, this is such an awesome thing to do, and you'll find yourself wanting to then break down your expenses and go deeper into this to find out exactly where you can save more money. But right now, just adding up a couple numbers and putting that in Excel is not too difficult. So I'd recommend you guys all try that because it will make you want to save more money, and just nice knowing your net worth is growing over time. But by far, the greatest way to save an abundance of money is to just become a minimalist. And this is possible overnight. Minimalism is really just a lifestyle that, besides your finances, will probably bring you a lot of joy in your life. In short summary, minimalism is just removing the things that don't matter in life so you can focus your time, energy, and money on the things that do matter. I've been, practicing minimalism for the past year and a half. I'd say I am like a full minimalist now, and it's brought me so much happiness to be able to spend more time with my friends and family, save a ton of money, reduces my stress. It's crazy looking back knowing that there was a time in my life when I cared about having stuff instead of making experiences and spending time with people and doing the things that really mattered to me. So if you're interested in minimalism, there's a ton of awesome YouTubers that have put together some amazing videos explaining what it is, how to get started. And trust me, it's more than just decluttering your closet and all that basic stuff. So I'll have some of the links below if you guys are interested in learning more about them. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested. The last one I want to talk about is debt. Now, I've never personally been in debt, but I'm aware it's affecting a lot of people, especially with college loans, just the complete scam college is. And from what I've heard, the greatest way to get out of debt is by using the debt snowball tactic. Now, Gordon Ramsay came out with this, Dave Ramsey came out with this tactic where essentially you target your smallest debts first and build up to your largest debts regardless of any interest rate. So it actually really makes sense mathematically because you'd be looking at the interest rate, the size of the debt, and seeing what you'll have to pay off more at the long term. But most people who get into debt are not really good at math in the first place. They do it because of emotion. So you want to get emotion on your side. When you start paying off those small loans, you guys, holy crap, this is working. I'm going debt free. You get your momentum going to tackle those bigger and bigger loans you didn't even think were possible. If you're not familiar with Dave Ramsey, he is very big in the personal finance section of the world. He's helped a ton of people save money, invest money, and just get out of there any financial struggles that they have. He also has a YouTube channel, which you guys can check out if you're more interested in learning about the snowball tactic and just how to become better with money. So this video did help you guys better understand money, happiness, and our human nature. People always wish I learned how to manage money when they were younger, and regardless of how young they are. And I wish it was something that was taught in school, but unfortunately it's just our responsibility now to learn how to manage money, and it's never too late to start. If you guys are new here, my name's Ali. I make videos on self-improvement and tech. So if that interests you, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for the next video.
Coming in, flex. I just wanna win, LA BB, who we running